To the class breakfast news. The news is live on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, Ho FM 92.5 in the Voto region, Dagban FM 102.5 in Tamale, Radio 1 92.1 in the Upper West region, Radio Power 96 in Spain. Around the world, join us on classfmonline.com. Coming up in this bulletin, University of Environment Sustainable Development, a government expands private sector representation in tertiary governance. Also coming up in this bulletin, D-Tech forecast. DMS forecast rains thunderstorm across parts of Ghana today. Coming up also in African news, Nigeria reports killing of 2 citizens in South Africa amidst rising anti-migrant tension. These plus many other stories coming your way shortly.
This is the Class Breakfast News.
I am Elizabeth Aidoo and you're welcome to Class 91.3 FM. Let's settle for the details of the news. The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, has suspended its planned industrial action scheduled for today, Monday, July 6, 2026, after reporting significant progress in negotiations with government over long-standing conditions of service and other outstanding labor concerns, whilst insisting that its strike mandate remains firmly in place should agreed commitment fail to be implemented. The association says the decision follows a series of high-level engagement with government, which is described as yielding notable progress, including the signing of an interim salary adjustment agreement on July 2nd, 2026, effective July 1. In the statement dated July 4, 2026, UTAG's National Secretariat expressed appreciation to members for what he described as overwhelming support during the recent referendum, which remain strong mandate in favor of the industrial action. It stressed that the mandate remain valid and can still be activated if the government failed to honor its commitment. UTAG further disclosed that at a meeting with the Minister for Finance on July 3, government provided assurances on several outstanding issues. These include the payment of promotion arrears, implementation of conditions of service, placement concern affecting some Unimark staff, outstanding online teaching support allowance, obligation for University of Environment and Sustainable Energy, research fellow on Liberian, as well as post-retirement and rollover challenges. The association says it has also been informed that the implementation directive are being finalized and are expected to be issued within the coming weeks. Based on these developments, UTAG's National Executive Committee resolved that the intended strike action will not commence as earlier planned. However, it cautioned that this should not be seen as a softening of its stance, adding it will closely monitor government action and will not hesitate to activate the mandate if commitments are not fulfilled. UTAG is also, meanwhile, urging members to remain calm, united, and continue the academic duties as it engages government to ensure full implementation of all agreed terms. Now, still on education issues, private universities in Ghana are set to play a direct role in national tertiary education governance following an amendment to the Education Regulatory Policy Act 1023 that grants them representation on the governing board of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission (DTEC). The Education Minister Haruna Idrisu announced that the change during the commissioning of a 200-bed hostel facility at Wisconsin International University College in Fayase, where he said DTEC board will soon be reconstituted to include a representative of private tertiary institutions. He commended private universities for helping absorb excess student admission, particularly for public universities, but urged all institutions to remain committed to access, relevance, and quality in higher education.
Now, President Mahama is doing his utmost best. In terms of governance, we have improved the governance of our institutions of higher learning. As I stand here, Minister for Education, I don't interfere with the council of any university and how the council supports the management of the institution. So to those councils that are worrying management, they should desist from that conduct. They don't have my policy support. We expect the universities to be run effectively by councils and management. And we expect that relationship between council and management will be one of collegiate atmosphere, that there is respect of council to management for the good of those institutions. A few days ago, I got a text from the president of UTAC, and they were very unhappy about some letter that the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission have forwarded to members of UTAC. I've asked GTEC to withdraw that letter and to respect the conditions and service of our university lecturers, particularly those who are within the mandatory retirement age. President Mahama was unequivocal and eloquent when he said he was going to respect the age of persons in academia, even as he announced in academia. We will continue to protect that space because we need you, and we need you to support the state in the transformation of our country.
He further highlighted artificial intelligence as a key area for transformation, taxing universities to integrate AI into teaching and learning while maintaining productivity. The minister stressed that Ghana's future depends on its youth, noting that equipping students with skills in technology, research and entrepreneurship is critical to national development.
Of the provision of higher education, this is what government expects from all of you. We have seen a number of the higher institutions of learning or tertiary institutions drift away from their core mandate. That's why I'm saying that they should retailer their training needs to the manpower needs of the country. For instance, the new animal called artificial intelligence. How do we as a country prepare to make the best use of artificial intelligence in the way we learn, the way we teach, without compromising productivity? The future of this country is the future of our young people, and the knowledge and skills that we build in them, including technology research and entrepreneurship, remains very paramount. I'm aware that in the next few weeks, I'll be receiving the report of our National Curriculum Review Committee, which has barely a week to complete its work. And then I'll get a new revised curriculum launch for Ghana. In the new revised curriculum, as I've mentioned already, we intend to introduce at the basic foundational learning to enhance digital learning. We'll introduce robotics, electronics, AI and coding at the foundational learning level.
The minister also revealed that government is planning to decentralize and expand medical education across the country to improve access and help address Ghana's healthcare need. He explained that just as legal education has been expanded to admit more qualified applicants, a similar approach will be applied to medical training to produce more doctors for national development.
Many of you know that the NDC government remains very determined to demystify legal education. That is why we have the new law on legal education. Very soon, we'll shift it to the area of medicine. In time past, you had very few people studying law. Now the numbers are multiplying. It should be the same thing for medicine. The numbers should multiply, and we should have doctors all across the country, just as we have nurses across the country. So when I got here, on arrival, I saw my law lecturer at the Ghana School of Law, Dr. Adinkra, for their secondary meaning, only when the ordinary meaning leads to absurdity.
That's the Minister for Education, Haruna Ijusu. The Ghana Meteorological Agency, GMET, has forecast cloudy conditions with rain and thunderstorms across parts of the country today, urging the public to remain cautious as wet weather persists. According to the agency, coastal areas including Accra, Kaswa, Cape Coast, Takrady, and Aflao are expected to experience light to moderate rainfall, with thunderstorms are likely over parts of the Middle Belt transition and northern sectors. GMET also expected that mist and patches of fog over forecasted and forested and mountainous areas during the early hours, warning that reduced visibility could affect motorists. Meanwhile, the Ministry of the Interior has also issued a weather alert for the Greater Accra region, warning of a 40% chance of moderate rainfall this morning. The ministry says low-lying areas could experience flooding and has advised the public to avoid flooded roads and remain both alert. Both GMET and the ministry have urged residents, particularly those in flood-prone communities, to monitor official weather updates and exercise caution throughout the day. We'll bring you more details and update on this weather subsequently on Radio on Class 91.3 FM. Let's still stay a while on flood issues, because the Upper East Regional Minister, Donatus Atanga, has extended its condolences to families affected by the recent flood in Greater Accra region. He emphasized that the disaster requires urgent coordinated action on urban planning and environmental management, noting that crisis affects the entire country. The minister highlighted that widespread impact of the severe downpour, which left many homes destroyed and forced residents to abandon their properties. To address the recurring challenges, the government is also currently pursuing both short and long-term interventions. This includes dredging silt areas like the Odo River to manage water channels and enforcing Presidential Directive for Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies to demolish unauthorized structures on waterways. Let's listen to the Upper East Regional Minister.
Ghana, one of our major issues is our pollution, environmental pollution. If you move some 100 meters away from the center of activity, you see some polythene bags flying like guinea fowls everywhere. So, in that case, we have an issue of pollution. Apart from that, also planning is an issue. That is why I will take this opportunity to share my condolence and the condolence of the Upper East Region people and their chiefs for our brothers and sisters in the Greater Accra region that lost their lives through flooding. Because the likelihood is that those who lost their lives may even come from Upper East. Because if you go to such areas, the areas where it is not well developed, there is the people who leave their geographical area to go and seek for jobs.
That's the Upper East Regional Minister, Donatus Atanga. The government is seeking to establish one of the largest palm processing factories in the country within the Achimibwakwa traditional area of the Eastern region. The Chief of Staff, Julius Zebrahu, made it known in a speech at this year's Ohum Festival at Chebi, said President Mahama is keen on harnessing the potential of the emerging red gold industry and its vast value chain, which is expected to create jobs for young people.
Na yesa tuma siapa wasema yama to use it is your book say ana ya chef and ya say ya le kasa so
Class 91.3 FM. Class 91.3 FM.
say if you find ya